Good morning. Happy Monday. That is actually a Tuesday.
Yes, it feels like a Monday though. Hello.
So January 21st, it's SEL Monday, but on a Tuesday. So our SEL competency for today is still social awareness. It's the last one. And so we are working on civic engagement. So do you know what that is, Ms. Gutierrez?
There's the engagement part, so if you break it down, and then there's civic. And I think that's a word that in middle school it's like, but as you get older, maybe high school, maybe when you graduate, it's super, super important. And this is one of those SEL skills topics that it's like, well, I'll worry about it when I get older. But no, it's never too early to start thinking about what you can do as part of our community, not just at Clint Junior High, but in our town, Clint, or in our county, El Paso, or in our state. I do know some students are like, so me da flojera. But guys, it's super important that we are engaged, and it is our civic duty.
So this quote kind of sums it up. And the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So that to me kind of represents a little bit of civic engagement. Being a servant leader, working for others and trying to help others progress and do better. So civic engagement, really quickly, can mean you're an activist. It can mean that you're inspiring others, that you're working with others, that you are just participating, collaborating, and empowering others just to simply make the world a better place. So, with that said, I think, do you want to do announcements or PBIS check-in?
Let's check in on our cups. I want to see, even if it's good news, even if your team, I can think of one 7th grader. Even if your team did not do so good this weekend.
I did talk to that 7th grader today. He's okay though.
Okay, because
he's
that's
good.
how it goes. But please let us know how you're feeling. Remember, even if it's happy and excited, we'd love to hear your comments or read your comments. So we'll give you a couple of minutes to check in.
So we're back, and thank you guys for sharing. We're already seeing those comments coming in, so we'll get to you as soon as we can, okay?
And I saw one that it's just too cold outside. It is, but luckily we are indoors. We have jackets. We have hopefully the gear, but we're inside, so we're okay.
So Ms. Gutierrez has some housekeeping to do, so
Yes.
we're gonna let her get to that. Announcements time.
Announcement number one. Remember, we're still in January, and it is super important that we are aware. Part of our civic duty is if we see something, we say something, and we report it. So remember, it is Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month. Our second announcement does pertain to next school year. It's like, whoa, miss. We're barely in January, but that is when we start looking and planning at classes for next year. So your attendance matters. Cubs, it is super, super important that you are here because Mr. Esparza and I will be going into classes. We're going to start our pre-registration process. And so if you were here last year or at Surratt last year, you remember this paper. This is the form that we're going to give you so that you can select your electives and or honors courses. Guys, I have students who told me, oh, that's why I didn't get art, because the day you went in, I was absent. So we want you in class. We want you here. Next week, we're going to go into classes. And so you're going to log into Skyward. You're going to select your electives for next year. So please, please, please do not be absent these next 2 weeks. If you're an 8th grader, next year our high school counselors will be here to pre-register you. So please do not be absent because this is super important for next year. Next announcement is tomorrow. Thank you to our broadcast students because they have been advertising this, but we will have a parent workshop. Students, you're more than welcome to bring your parents. The topic is building self-esteem. Guys, even as adults, sometimes we need that boost. Sometimes we need to learn how we can increase our self-esteem. And if you're like, no, I got this, miss. It's just really useful information to help others, to help yourself. So please, 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 we want to see you here at 5 p.m. I know it's going to be cold, but it's really good information, guys. And these are opportunities we offer you and parents, guardians, so that we can just have just a better sense of ourselves. Ahora sí.
Get free dress if they come.
You know what? We used to, thank you, sir, for the question. We used to have a free dress, free shirt. Let me talk to our principal. But yes, thank you, so I can remind myself. Maybe a free shirt on Friday if you come. Free shirt, not free dress, because no PJ pants. Okay.
All right. So we're working on civic engagement. So we're gonna go. We don't have a Rethink Ed, but I found a pretty cool one on YouTube. So we're gonna hit that video and we're gonna press play.
No place on earth is perfect. Every community has a unique set of problems. Problems like corruption, pollution, unequal access to education, scarce affordable housing, hunger, or lack of quality health care. So whose job is it to solve these problems? Local government? Businesses? Non-profits or NGOs? Academic institutions? All of these sectors are important in a healthy society, but even if they wanted to, no single sector could solve all of a community's problems. That's why communities need individuals who are also working to solve local problems. It's called civic engagement. It's anytime someone takes action to better their community and encourages others to do it too. Authentic civic engagement is built on a shared understanding of community needs and a deep commitment to collaboration. Vibrant democracies create space for and encourage civic engagement. And when people make it their priority to engage, democracy is strengthened. Civic engagement takes many forms. It can be political, but it also looks like volunteering, joining a local organization, raising money for causes you care about, or using your voice to advocate. Anyone can be a civic leader. Change happens when ordinary people show up with compassion and courage. And together, we can form a powerful force for the creation of thriving, just, and free societies.
Okay.
Lots of, see, yeah?
Yeah.
Lots of videos, and I know it's a topic that, we don't talk about.
So one of the cool things that we do know is that you guys, your generation, with the rise of social media, you guys are part of the newest generation to be the most active in voicing their opinions and actually getting stuff done. So kudos to your generation, because there is so much movement in civic engagement thanks to your generation. So you guys keep it up. You guys are very vocal.
And you know what? I was just talking to Mr. Salazar. He was sharing students having those conversations. And remember, we might not agree, because I did talk to some sixth graders, but we might not agree, different viewpoints, but you have to respect each other. So remember, if you respect one another, that's it. I do know my eighth graders, when we went to the high school, shout out to eighth grade, it's different. High school is way different, but guys, you're still here. You're still in Clint Junior High. Guys, you have to respect each other. I know you guys are like, woo, we're the oldest in town. And guys, please respect each other, because what goes around comes back around. So good vibes will come back to you. So
we're going to take a little pause, time out with our civic engagement, because, can we go to the next slide, sir?
Dun, dun, dun.
Because we have our teacher spotlight.
Woo-hoo!
So we looked at the votes, and as we slowly kind of eliminate people, the votes keep increasing more towards different teachers. So we've seen different teachers and staff and faculty members here.
Different content areas too.
So one thing that I was really, really excited to see for the last vote was this particular teacher. So without further ado, we're gonna highlight our teacher spotlight of the week, which is
Mr. Falcon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Falcon. I go by Awesome Falcon because I wanted to. Now, I'm the band director here at the school. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. My certification says I can teach any grade level, but this is my favorite. I graduated from UTEP, and before that I attended San Elizario High School. But I say I survived it because I don't really like that school a lot. My favorite color happens to be blue, and it's not just because Clint Junior High School. It is essentially has been my favorite color since 2009. Before that, it was red. An interesting fact about me is the fact that I am a band director, but I do carry another sort of career in the background, and that is some kind of contractor and home builder. So that's an interesting fact. Another one, which I think everybody would be super curious about, is which one of all the instruments that you might be able to play is your favorite one? My first favorite one is my trombone. This is a trombone. This is a 1920s trombone. It happens to be the trombone that I was playing on when I found out I was going to be a dad for the first time. And so here is our first sonogram. And with that being said, my second favorite instrument is guitar. So those are two of my main instruments because they're my favorite. And well, I'm going to say goodbye to this, and I'll see you guys, and I cannot wait to see what questions you got for me on the next time. Bye-bye.
so cool. So cool. I didn't know that about his trombone. So I'm really excited to see the questions that you guys have. So Mr. Falcon is a graduate of UTEP, and when we talk about our STEM and we talk about our endorsements, he has a Bachelor of Arts in Music. So if that, and which would be under Fine Arts.
Yes. So remember, this is to get to know teachers, but also to say, hey, what can I study if one day I want to be a band director, or Miss, I can actually go to UTEP and take classes in my in Spanish especialización. Dang, girl. My specialty is music. Spanish teacher problems.
I love it. Love it.
Sorry. It can be music. So just FYI, we're also learning about careers.
So
while we-
diverse, though. I mean, it's really cool how different everybody is and what they did when they were in college. So, without further ado, can you guys open up those laptops, go to the Google Classroom for Counseling, and click the link?
What do we ask? What do we ask?
And I put some extra Falconian questions in there for you guys to ask because, well, let's just say that I am also curious too. So we'll see what questions you guys have, and we'll give you about, let's see, what time is it? We'll give you about 3 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
So make sure you log in. You tell us what to ask.
And keep your laptops open. All right, we have some awesome questions coming in. I'm super excited to hear from Mr. Falcon on Friday. So also make sure that you're submitting if you would like to conduct the interview. As you saw, we had Emiliano.
Good job, Emiliano.
And he did awesome. He did awesome. So we will be choosing a new student this week to conduct and interview Mr. Falcon.
So before we move on to our activity on civic engagement, thank you guys so much because you're adding information about baseball. So shout out, thank you person who said, hey, we did really good. We beat Fabian. So congrats to that. And then there's just some students who really share good information. So please remember, if you have not done your PBIS check-in, we're still missing a couple students.
So if we can go to our next slide, we're going to do a little bit of civic engagement. So if you would like to ask a question to the mayor of El Paso or the town of Clint, the mayor of the town of Clint, these are their email addresses or the website. So, or if, hey, you know what, you've been doing a good job, shout out to you. Thank you for everything you've been doing from the students here at Clint Junior High School, or hey, Mr. Mayor of El Paso, the roads on Pelicano are pretty bad. What are you going to do about that, sir? Whatever questions you have, I'm still frustrated about Pelicano.
I can tell. That's what I was
I live
like.
by Pelicano, and it's bad over there.
Someone's going to
So-
send an email. But guys, truly, we want to give you that time to say, hey, what can I possibly email? Or maybe it's just the gratitude, like, you know what, thank you for all that you do. If we have Cubs who say, Miss, they answer back, please
let us know so we can highlight
because
that.
We're going to highlight students really reaching out to our local officials, and there might be something for you.
And if
from
there's
us.
a local official
Yes.
that I didn't put on here that you'd like to talk to, just do a quick little Google and go ahead and ask that question. But always reach out to us if you guys get a response, which would be really cool. And yes, thank you, Mr.
Whenever you
Salazar.
write emails, remember, it's not just or what is it when you text, like short, complete sentences and the grammar.
You know, if you are reaching out to these people, we're expected to reach out to them in a professional way. So
So
make
they
sure
can
that you
see
are
that.
respectful, that you are professional, and that you are genuinely concerned and working on your civic engagement. So, yeah.
So remember, if we get any kiddos, please let us know. And this is so that they know our Cubs are doing their part to be socially aware of what's going on in their community. So thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
See
Bye.
you later. Bye.
they don't know what we're saying.
Hey, listo.
And that's the story about how I fell off a cliff. So.
It is not funny, but it's
Just
because there was
kidding.
no stories. I'm like,
There was
what?
no story. I was
Yeah,
just
there's
saying
no
that,
story.
so.
And then I was like, we need music, but no. we're
Need
okay.
something.
No sound. There was no sound.
Yeah. So we're back.
So happy SEL Day. It's SEL Monday, but we're doing it on a Tuesday. So kind of weird. But anyway,
But it's okay.
January 21st, our competency is still social awareness, but today we're changing it to our topic, civic engagement. So as you can see right here, we have some civic engagement, just some artwork, and civic engagement is just creating a better world for others. And it's either through activism, collaborating, voting, empowering others, inspiring others, communicating and forming groups to just make the world around you better. So this quick little quote I did find, it says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. As a counselor, what do you think of that, Ms. Gutierrez?
Wow. First, I'm like, look.
Yeah, look who wrote it.
it's coming
who it
from.
came from.
So Gandhi. And so yes, as counselors, we do provide a lot of services for our students, for our parents, for our guardians, for our siblings. But yeah, it gives me, I can say from a personal experience, it gives me purpose knowing that, you know what, I can help, I can contribute to my community, I can be just sometimes there for someone who might need it. So I think civic engagement is not one of those topics we talk a lot about in middle school. In high school, más o menos. But the older you get, the more you start becoming socially aware about how can I improve the place where I live, the place where I work, the place where I just want my family to be around.
Exactly. So we'll get into that a little bit more, but it is PBIS check-in time. So let's go ahead, open up those laptops, and
Please check in, even if you're excited, if you're calm and regulated. I really enjoy reading comments like, you know what, it's cold, but I'm here. Or, hey, baseball. I know softball and baseball just started. So if you want to share anything, please let us know.
something
So-
exciting happened
Yeah.
over the weekend. I want to see what's there. So also let us know in case you do need to talk, just a quick little blurb about what's going on, okay?
So we'll give you a couple minutes to check in on PBIS. come back like that.
And we're back.
Sorry, I'm just testing. Así o así o de lado.
I like that you have energy today because some of us came, oh, it's cold, but man, you're like,
You know what? There's just
you're ready
something.
to fight. Yeah, I like it.
Wait, what?
You're just ready to battle the day.
Oh,
Just
okay, I'm
fight the
like-
day. Yeah. No, not fight a person, just like battle the day, you know?
They're like,
Get through
the
it.
counselor needs to Zen zone. And thank you, students,
The
for.
punching bag.
Not right now. Some days I do, but not towards students. Thank you for checking in. We got over 200 plus check-ins. And really, guys, the comments do help, especially because our sixth graders are coming from lunch. And some students just tell me something happened at lunch. That really does help us. So I do have a couple of announcements. So we're going to go on to
Announcements time.
first announcement. Remember that we are still in January. I read somewhere that January is like the longest month. It feels like it never ends. Still in January, and it is National Human Trafficking Awareness and Prevention Month. So remember, if you see something, you say something, and that's just in general, socially aware of what's going on with your surroundings. The next announcement is we will be starting our pre-registration process for the next school year. And if you're like, whoa, Miss Counselor, Mrs. Gutierrez, we're barely in January. That is because it's a long process to make sure that we have students in the right schedules for next year. So guys, attendance does matter. We need you in school because Mr. Esparza and I will start going into classes. We will start talking and actually giving this paper for you to select your electives for next year. I had one student who were like, oh, it's because last year I was absent that day, and so that's why I didn't get the elective I wanted. Super important that you are here. Next week, we will be going into classes. So we start this process this week. But next week, we're going to start the process of you logging into Skyward and selecting the elective classes. So please do not be absent. Please be here. And when we go into classes, make sure you're attentive so that you don't have questions. And so my 8th graders are at lunch, so we're gonna skip that announcement for 8th grade. Next announcement is tomorrow we are inviting you to a parent workshop. And students, I have students who do say, Miss, I kind of want to know more about that topic. Can I go? Yes, students are also welcome. And the topic is building self-esteem. And guys, even as an adult, if you're like, no, miss, I'm good. There's always information that is so useful so that we learn and we can also help others in building self-esteem. So it is tomorrow. I know it's going to be cold, but we're going to be here at 5 in the library. Mr. Salazar did have a really good question for our last broadcast, daytime broadcast. I am going to check with our principal, with Mrs. Gallego, to see if we can give students free shirt, not free dress, because we don't want anybody in PJ pants. So if students do attend, that might be an incentive. So if you show up and I give you a bracelet, that is because you have free shirt, not free dress. And so, yeah, those are the announcements from me.
Okay, so we're gonna move on, thank you, ma'am, to our video of the week. So like we said, we're working on civic engagement. So let's learn a little bit more about what that is and what it means. We don't have Rethink Ed, but I found a cool one on YouTube. So let's check it out.
No place on earth is perfect. Every community has a unique set of problems. Problems like corruption, pollution, unequal access to education, scarce affordable housing, hunger, or lack of quality health care. So whose job is it to solve these problems? Local government? Businesses? Non-profits or NGOs? Academic institutions? All of these sectors are important in a healthy society, but even if they wanted to, no single sector could solve all of a community's problems. That's why communities need individuals who are also working to solve local problems. It's called civic engagement, It's anytime someone takes action to better their community and encourages others to do it too. Authentic civic engagement is built on a shared understanding of community needs and a deep commitment to collaboration. Vibrant democracies create space for and encourage civic engagement. And when people make it their priority to engage, democracy is strengthened. Civic engagement takes many forms. It can be political, but it also looks like volunteering, joining a local organization, raising money for causes you care about, or using your voice to advocate. Anyone can be a civic leader. Change happens when ordinary people show up with compassion and courage. And together, we can form a powerful force for the creation of thriving, just, and free societies.
That was better.
And we're back. Okay.
I like that one
So
better.
I really liked that video. I really thought it was important how they said if you see a problem, you can collaborate with all these different entities from within your community, whether it be school, whether it be the local sheriffs, whether it be, like one of the government
I'm
offices.
distracted. I'm just
So very important civic engagement. You make a difference. But on to our next topic. We'll come back to civic engagement here in a little bit.
And you know what? Can I just pause and say something about civic
Yes, you can.
engagement? Guys, I know middle school, it's because I just can't get along with that person. Or, guys, we don't have to agree or we don't have to like every single person, but you do have to respect one another. And so I think that's one of the things that I'm like, I know sometimes it's like, it's because I try miss, but they get the best of me. We can only try, and the next time try a little harder to say, you know what, I might not agree, or I might not like that personality, or that person, or the things that they say, or the way that they look at me. But guys, you have to respect each other. But spotlight teacher of the week.
Spotlight of the week. So we looked at all of the votes, and you guys spoke. And so here we have our teacher spotlight of the week. So start opening your laptops, because after this video, you're going to get to vote and see what you want to ask
And this week we have
Mr. Falcon.
So let's hear.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mr. Falcon. I go by Awesome Falcon because I wanted to. Now, I'm the band director here at the school. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. My certification says I can teach any grade level, but this is my favorite. I graduated from UTEP, and before that I attended San Elizario High School. But I say I survived it because I don't really like that school a lot. My favorite color happens to be blue, and it's not just because Clint Junior High School. It is essentially has been my favorite color since 2009. Before that, it was red. An interesting fact about me is the fact that I am a band director, but I do carry another sort of career in the background, and that is some kind of contractor and home builder. So that's an interesting fact. Another one, which I think everybody would be super curious about, is which one of all the instruments that you might be able to play is your favorite one? My first favorite one is my trombone. This is a trombone. This is a 1920s trombone, and happens to be the trombone that I was playing on when I found out I was going to be a dad for the first time. And so here is our first sonogram. And with that being said, my second favorite instrument is guitar. So those are two of my main instruments because they're my favorite. And well, I'm going to say goodbye to this, and I'll see you guys, and I cannot wait to see what questions you got for me on the next time. Bye-bye.
Wow, super cool. I'm super excited to see what you guys have to ask Mr. Falcon. As you can see, he is also a graduate of UTEP, and he studied music. So he received his degree. It's a Bachelor of Arts in Music. So we say Bachelor of Arts because that's the route he took. He majored in fine arts.
So I know that my 7th graders that are going to be 8th graders next year, we're going to see endorsements. And so fine arts is an endorsement. So definitely we are learning about careers and what it takes or what degrees you need to be educators. Or maybe we'll find out through the teacher spotlights that we have teachers who have other degrees. But yeah, we're learning as we're getting to know more about teachers.
Yes. So if you can go to our next slide, guys, go ahead and log into your counseling page on your Google Classroom. And guys, we only have like 60 people that filled out the form last den time. So we really need you guys to push this forward so we can have the best possible participation. Let's ask Mr. Falcon as many questions as you're curious about and want to find out about him. He's a very interesting person, so there's so many things that we can find out about him, and I'm very curious. I did add some special questions in there just for him, so if you guys like them, click them, but if you have one of your own that you're like, I'm wondering this about Mr. Falcon, just go ahead and type it in, and then of course, don't forget to vote for who you would like to see next week.
And if you would like to be the interviewer, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Here
that's
too?
the last one.
Yes.
Just type yes or click yes.
Shout out to Emiliano.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Emiliano did awesome last week. And he was the first one, so he just took it and he ran with it. So shout out to Emiliano, he did so good. Good job,
So we'll
buddy.
give you a couple minutes to complete our teacher interview question. So
Awesome.
we
Oh,
do
go ahead.
take a little longer because as you're voting or as you're submitting, we're like, hey, look at this and look at that. So that's why we take a little longer than usual. But we have just enough time for...
Our civic engagement activity. So if we can go to our next slide. So part of civic engagement is just either thanking, or if you have a concern, we can reach out to our local officials and voice that concern. So here are some of our local officials. I mean, there's obviously more. We have our congresswoman as well that you can email. However, if you have a question or just want to give a shout out to either the new mayor of El Paso or our current Town of Clint mayor, that is how to contact them. However, if you are going to email them, that's what we're at, that's the activity for today. So we are going to open up our email and either email the mayor of El Paso or the Town of Clint mayor. Since this is a formal email, make sure that you are being respectful, that you are asking a question that is trying to help solve a problem, or if you're just giving them kudos and a shout out, make sure that you thank them for what they've done or for what you hope them to do. So anything else that you'd like to mention?
And guys, if you hear back from them because
Oh, yes.
you are like, you know what, I just wanted to say thank you for your work. I'm very interested, or like maybe someday I will maybe find interest in what you do. If you get a response, please let us know, because of course we want to recognize you, but maybe there might be something else in there. But remember, it's never too early to start getting involved in your community or just voicing out, or guys, your voice matters, you matter. So we want to just give you time to say, is there
Make
any-
sure to let them know who you are and where you're from in that email.
so that they
Okay?
know that our Cubs are socially aware of where they live, their community, and we'll see you
Next
later
week.
in the hallway. Yes.
Oh, on Friday with Mr. Falcone's questions and answers.
Yes.
So, yes.
Have a good one, Cubs.
Bye, everybody.